Welcome, welcome. So, today's video will just be me, another rambling video, giving my thoughts on the tile update for Monster Hunter Wilds. Oh, I got the list in front of me, so I'm gonna just do it in order of how it's presented on Monster Hunter's webpage. Us getting Mitsusune is really great. For me personally, Mitsusune is like one of my top five favorite monsters ever. I'm still upset that when I was a child, Monster Hunter Portable Third never actually came to America. Because everybody loves Zenogre, but Mizusune was actually my favorite monster from that generation. I think it's going to be really good in Wilds. I think aesthetically it's going to be amazing. It looks like they're giving it Soul Seer abilities in its regular form, which is cool. Um, I can't wait for the armor set. I've always loved Bubble Beat. Just the ability to get dodge and attack up is always nice. Um, it being HR 21 plus isn't surprising. I don't expect. Well, they say there's going to be a 8-star tempered version of it, so in terms of difficulty, it should be in the same vein as at least Arkveld, maybe Gore Magala. We'll see. Armor looks good. Can't complain there. I mean, it gives what the base set is going to look like. I wonder what color codings can actually be changed. Next up would be Arch Tempered Raydal. Now, Arch Tempered's in World got a lot of mixed reception. I personally, well, I mean, I'm not someone that ever cares about difficulty, but I will do hard content if the rewards is good enough to justify it. So, like in base world, the arch tempered variants of armor were really amazing in terms of skills and slots. So, just thinking about, let me see, what does Raydal set give? I think it gives,
Got something in mind?
I want to say it gives Latin power, but I just need to check. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so Raydal says Latin power, max might, um, a little stamina surge. Okay. So in Monster Hunter World, an Arch Temper version of this, there would probably be like 3 points of Latin power just on the legs alone. Legs alone. So you could get full Latin power off of two pieces of gear. Like that's what I'm expecting from Arch Temper Raydal. So I will be fighting it to get its armor. In terms of the type of fight I'm expecting from Raydal, I mean, I said before, I think the end game of Wilds is about the same as World's end game. It was just the progression that was easier in World. I mean, in Wilds versus World. So I do expect Arch Temper Raydal to be a really difficult fight. I expect you having to actually gear for it because, like in World, if you were fighting like Arch Tempered, uh, I don't know why I'm blanking on the Elder Dragon with the miasma, but you would have to actually build for effluvium resistance if you want to beat the Arch Tempered version without using something like, health chunking greatsword. So I expect the same for Arch Tempered Raydal. You're going to have to build lightning resistance if you want to survive its attacks, unless you're using some blocking weapon with guard up. Um, but I'm excited for that. Zoshia with one of the cleanest armors I've seen in recent memory. I like that, for both the male and female, it's half and half as far as looking like an angel or a devil. So, getting parts A or B, you can fully look like an angel or fully look like a devil. I'm going full angel on my side because admittedly I don't really mess with the leggings on the female side, but it's cool. In terms of that fight, given it's also high rank 50 plus just to be able to fight that thing, I expect it to be even more difficult in Arch Temper Raid Dao. Because I mean, just remembering the low rank fight, there were like that fight was more of a spectacle to me, but that's also because I know I wasn't really fearing any of the things being thrown at me. I mean, we're at low rank. I don't expect to die from one or two hits. High rank version, HR 50 plus, is a totally different story. I would say I expect the difficulty to be something akin to that of Elatrion when it first dropped. So I think a lot of people are in for a rude awakening, minus having to run an elemental weapon. But yeah, I think that's going to be good. Definitely going to fight that for the armor alone. Skills I expect to see on it, given what it represents, it's definitely going to have a busted skill. Like, I don't think Fatalis busted, where like Fatalis just overcharged all other skills. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if as a set it had like a if it has some type of conversion ability where like it boosts stats maybe based on status afflicted resistances. I mean, angel or devil. I wouldn't even be surprised if it had like a. I mean, it's probably going to have built-in guts. I can see that. The only thing I don't want is I don't want some form of, because like in World Iceborne, Volcana had like Frostcraft, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, Frostcraft is cool, but it's only good for weapons that sheath a lot. So like only really Greatsword was using Frostcraft. Maybe if you were using the meme heavy bowgun build. Like, I don't want Zoshia to have a skill that is only really good for a small group of weapons. Small group of weapons. Of course, it doesn't have to have skills that will make it the chase for everyone to build, but like there's a happy medium that I would like to see. Next up on the list is the Grand Hub, or the Gathering Hub. I said in a video before I was very disappointed that
You know where to find me.
they didn't release the Gathering Hub when the game came out. Like, especially for a game that was multiplayer with the cross play and all this other stuff. That was odd to me, but us getting it now and me seeing the clip of what is in store, I am very happy with it. I I will say, just from like design and aesthetic alone, it's better than Base World's Gathering Hub, but it's not as good as Celiana's Gathering Hub. So I think the mini games are cool. I can't wait to be at the table with the squad and doing all that little stuff before hunts. And yeah, I feel like this was probably the biggest thing missing from base game. So happy it's gotten back at least, a month after release. That's what I'm talking about. Following that, I see that they brought back Arena Quests. I personally have never cared for Arena Quests outside of the potential rewards that you could get from them. Like, I know there have been some games where like the Arena Quest would get you like really good earrings with nice effects. So the Arena Quests weren't really that necessary unless you were trying to make certain layered armor and weapons. I do kind of expect the same in Wilds, that it already mentions pendants, but like I do expect coins that'll let you craft certain weapons and armor that should be good. Um, I think Arena Quest is going to be great for the speedrunning community. As long as I get like a B, I'm happy. I mean, like, again, I'm just going to do them if the rewards are good enough, but it's nice that they brought those back too, because, like, one of the arguments about WoW is that it's lacking in content just because it doesn't have things that we're used to. But it seems like they brought in a lot of that with one. So that's cool. The last thing on this list is the various downloadable content. I'm not really gonna get into that. It's cool that they give us the ability to change Alma and her glasses. I am curious if the outfits are going to get as radical as they were with the handler, because, like, actually, no, I won't be surprised because the cat already has some radical armor that you can equip. I mean, my cat right now is like a walking turbine. So yeah, I expect Alma to get some crazy outfits very soon. The pay for content, I think the only thing that disappointed me was that, like, in in Wilds, your bow ready pose where you pull out your weapon, this is the only pose we got. In World, when they released the battle ready poses, it was that poses, like, you had a bunch of them, and like my favorite one being a heavy bowgun main was the one where you like sit down with over your shoulder. From what I understand, I'm going to have to pay for that in Wilds, which, I mean, I'm going to, but I don't think that was a great move. But we'll see. Rise, you were able to buy like layered weapons, and like, I know, at least from the ones I got, they were like these futuristic laser weapons. It was like the coolest looking weapons in the game, and you had to pay for it. I hope Wilds doesn't do that, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But yeah, that's pretty much. Oh yeah, and I think in the development video itself, they tease Lagiacrus dropping with season update 2. I had mixed feelings, not because I don't like Lagiacrus, but because, contrary to most, I am actually a huge fan of underwater combat. Of course, as a bowgun main, you could see why I wouldn't necessarily have trouble underwater. But like, I loved Try for what it was, and I loved how immersive underwater made the maps and the monsters themselves. It was like fighting something on land versus fighting it in the sea are like two totally different experiences, which is why when I see monsters like the Elder Dragon and Iceborne, I don't know why I'm blanking on its name, like that under the sea would be amazing. The Carcos under the Carcos under the sea would be amazing. Amazing. Even in this game, wait, I gotta pull up the roster list. I'm just blanking on monsters today. Okay. There isn't even any monsters in this game that would make sense under the sea. Until we get Lagiacrus, but Lagiacrus would be amazing in the sea. I'm tripping. Ulfduna. Ulfduna would be amazing under the sea. I don't know why I forgot the Apex. But, yeah, bring back underwater combat. Even I would even take you bring it back in a because, like, for those that don't know, in Monster Hunter there's like the mainline series, and then there's like the side series that is almost always going to release on handhelds. So like Monster Hunter World is the mainline series. Monster Hunter Rise is like the handheld side grade series. They're more than likely going to make a handheld side series for the Switch too. I would like to see underwater combat return in that game, and obviously, because like there's some things from Rise that are in Wild, so like they're taking feedback from every game they release. I'm hoping they put underwater combat in the next Monster Hunter game after Wilds, and I hope the feedback is positive because a lot of people's complaints about underwater combat in the old games is that it was hard to move. Now you take fifth and sixth generation development, our cameras are better. We have well, I mean, in World we have no, we have in Wilds too. You have like the clutch claw to like grab and drag you around the map. Around the map, we have mounts. It would be so easy to incorporate underwater combat. I think what's really holding them back is the fan reception and the time it would take to I mean, because like I'm not a developer, I don't know how hard it is to go from on land to in sea when it comes to mechanics of the player and interactions and all that. But like, as somebody that hasn't seen it since Try, I would very much want underwater combat because like I remember when we got the fourth generation, kind of like the selling point of that was verticality. Now you can like go up cliffs and the maps are leveled now instead of just these flat areas, and I'm like, yeah, that's all cool, but I would prefer underwater versus these multi-level areas. But yeah, done rambling. I feel like that's enough for today. Thanks for those who took the time to listen. Peace.